What is up, guys? Tas here. Welcome back to another video. So the markets were a bit choppy today. S&P 500 ended up breaking even. We had the Dow Jones go up 0.2%. We had the NASDAQ go down 0.2%. And the Russell 2000 did even worse, down 0.7% on the day. And today we're going to be talking more about the markets, breaking down some technicals, going over 7 stocks to buy now. And I also want to share with you guys what I did in the markets today and in general where my head is at as a trader and as an investor. So if you guys find value, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to go down below, get into the StrapSmart Discord chat, the Facebook group, get 2 stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600 and $30 from M1 Finance. All of those are free and linked right down below. And if you guys want more access to me throughout the trading day, buy and sell alerts, you want a morning update video, and a bunch of more exclusive content and callouts, check out the Patreon that is also linked right down below in the description box. So let's get into it. What we saw today was a lot of choppiness. I mean, the S&P 500, despite it going down a little bit, but still pretty much breaking even. I mean, down 0.03%. It went down, but we still hit an all-time high. We hit an all-time high at 3931.5. We saw a pretty brief gap up this morning. If you guys recall, we hit that all-time high. We consolidated a bit. We struggled at that all-time high. We didn't hit a new one, obviously. And then we ultimately dumped off from there. We lost about... Wow, that was a pretty big pullback now that I'm looking back on it. It went down about 1.2%. It lost almost 50 points on this pull down. So that's no joke. I mean, 1.2%, that's a pretty decent pull down on an index. And I mean, it's not anything crazy like what we saw a couple months ago, almost a year ago at this point. But it's not, it's not... let's just put it this way, it's decent, right? 1.2%. And then we saw a recovery from there, and we ended up closing, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, on an uptrend. I mean, take a look. We held this 3880 level at a higher low, and we closed at another higher low, a little bit above 3900. So this is a good sign. But overall, what we are seeing is resistance right around this 3915, 30 level. I mean, these past 3 days have been pretty much a consolidation period. Although we did, again, hit an all-time high today, I'm still looking at this as consolidation these past 1, 2, 3 days. And for tomorrow, what I'm really looking at is, are we going to break this level? Take a look at this level. Right here is huge on the S&P 500, 3,900. If 3,900 breaks, we gap down a bit. Maybe we're going back to the mid-3800s. And if we pull back on this 4-hour chart, get a more broad look at the markets, this wouldn't sound too crazy. I mean, this pull down scenario that we're talking about, it doesn't sound crazy looking at this chart because, okay, if we do break that 3,900 level, we gap down to the mid-3800s, that's in the middle of this uptrending channel. I would actually like that. I think that would be healthy, putting the S&P right around 3850. Heck, if it dips even below that, maybe 3830, 3840, even low 3800s, that'd be even better. I'm all for that, right? I think we're a bit overheated, and I'm not saying this is the top for sure. Nobody knows. But it does look a bit toppy here. Again, these past 3 days, we've been consolidating. We saw a decent gap down today. So I'm just being a bit, careful. I'm being a bit conservative here, although I did end up buying some stocks. If you guys were in the Patreon, you saw my real-time buy orders. So let's talk about that here in a second. But before, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's get this video to 400 likes. I challenge you guys. And again, let me know your thoughts on the markets in general. Are you with me? You think we're going to see a pullback, or am I crazy and this market's going straight to 4,000 S&P 500? What do you think? Drop a comment right down below. So let's talk about what I personally did today and I'm holding a decent amount of positions. I'm holding about 5 or 6 right now, and I ended up opening up 2 new positions today. I locked in a profit on one of them, and let's just run through it very quickly. So Tesla, I ended up buying a little bit of Tesla today. This was at about $809.25. On this pull down, we saw about a 5.3% pull down. We're right around this 180 SMA right now. Honestly, guys, I think this is a decent pullback, which is why I bought into Tesla here. And I mean, look, every time we've pulled down, it seems like as long as the markets have been healthy, no, crazy drops in the overall markets, but, as long as the markets have been healthy these past couple of months, the Tesla pullbacks have all really just been buying opportunities, and that's what we're seeing right now. And I know the market is a bit shaky. Like I said, we might see a pullback, which I'm fully aware of, and if we do get a pullback in the markets, I mean, Tesla's going to get hit as well. So I have about a 2 to 3% stop loss set on this, and I'm really honestly willing to add more to my position if we get up to 815, 820 plus. So Tesla, I ended up opening that up today. Rocket Mortgage or Rocket Companies, this is one that I also added today. If you guys remember earlier today, I uploaded a video here on the YouTube channel going over 3 oversold stocks. One of them was Rocket, and I'd really advise you guys to go check out that video. I'll link it right down below. And pretty much, Rocket is one that I think is oversold. I think there's upside potential here in a market that's a bit frothy. I think this one is down about 40%. It has a high short interest, 31.3% according to highshortinterest.com, and we saw a previous high recently of about 26. So I think this is a decent buying window. I'm well aware it could go down to 19, and I'd probably buy even more at 19 or the low 20s. And I'm comfortable holding on to shares right now at $20.95. And this is more of a long-term swing for me, probably looking at a month, 2 months. And if it pans out in 2-3 weeks, we get to my, price target of mid to high 20s, then I might, exit out then. We'll see how it goes. So I'm holding on to Rocket. I'm also, I was about to say I'm holding AMD. I actually sold out of AMD. AMD is one I locked in some profits today on, or actually all of the profits. And this is one that saw a big spike to 93. I didn't sell out there, but then it dropped all the way down to 90.46. I held through that pain, quote-unquote pain, although I was still up. I mean, my average cost was $87.25. I held through that drop, and then I sold on the next pump. I sold at $91.70. So that is one that I got out of, locked in some profits. Tattooed Chef, if you guys remember on Patreon this morning, we called this out, and it kind of did pan out. I mean, it did drop a little bit after the initial call out, but then it ripped up higher to $25. And overall, my theory here on Tattooed Chef is playing out. Inverse head and shoulder, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and I think it's going to fill ultimately up to $27. That's what we talked about earlier in the morning update video. And I'm in Tattooed Chef. You guys know that. I'm in at about $24.10. So I'm up there. I'm also still up on NEO. NEO ended up going down today. This arguably could be another buying opportunity. If it holds $60, we'll see. So I'm still in NEO. Workhorse, I'm also still in this. It went down a bit today. So that's, I mean, I don't really care, honestly, because I sold out most of my Workhorse position for a profit, so I'm just letting the house money pretty much ride at this point, so I'm cool with that. And SLV, I'm still in. This one's more of a longer-term swing like Rocket Companies, and SBE is more of a longer-term swing as well, which went down 5% today, so maybe this could be another buying opportunity for SBE. So that's what I'm doing. Those are stocks that I'm involved with, and again, if you guys want more access to call-outs, buy and sells, what I'm doing intraday, and you want more direct access via DM to me, because honestly, Discord has been flooded with DMs. Instagram, I can't even respond to everybody's DMs on Instagram, and by no means am I some kind of famous YouTuber. You know, I only have 20,000 subscribers or something, but still, I get a decent amount of DMs where it's kind of hard to keep up, and I have a bunch of things on my plate right now, so I'm trying to prioritize these Patreon people. So if you're in there, again, you get full access throughout the day, and no pressure. You don't have to join, but if you do, it's linked right down below in the description. So what are you guys doing? I almost forgot to ask. What stocks are you buying, selling? What are you doing? Let me know down below in the comments. I would love to know. Now let's talk about 7 stocks, and at the end, well, there's actually no bonus. I was about to say we'll talk about some bonus ones, but at the end, you could actually go check out the previous video from today if you want 3 extra bonus ones to go over. And again, I'll link that oversold stocks video down below in the description. But stock number 1, they just ended up reporting earnings today, and their competitor reported yesterday. That was Lyft, ticker symbol LYFT, and they did decent. I mean, the stock went up on their earnings. Lyft did, and Uber followed, and now Lyft ended up going down from 62 pre-market. Actually, it's still closed up, which goes to show how crazy it was pre-market today. It was at 62 pre-market, and it went down to 56, and it's still holding the uptrend, and it went up 5% on the day. So watch out the dip here on Lyft now that I'm looking at it. And Uber just reported earnings, and they did EPS of negative 54 cents versus negative 55 cents. So they beat there on EPS, and revenue ended up coming in very short. So that's why the stock's selling off right now, no doubt about it. I mean, revenue came in at $3.2 billion versus $3.58 billion estimated, and the stock is down almost 10%, more like 6%. I don't want to, you know, throw them under the bus or anything, but yeah, 6%. Still a pretty big, decent, or a dip buy. I'm mixing up my words here, guys. But yeah, 6%, that's decent. It looks like we are holding the 180, or actually this is the 50 SMA on the hourly chart, and this overall 60-59 level of old resistance as support. So I think if Uber's able to hold, and you can see it here even better on the 4-hour, if Uber can hold 60, maybe we could see a move back up to the mid-60s. But with these earnings reports, or this earnings report not looking that great, I mean, they missed by a pretty big margin on revenue. I would probably wait and see if 60 actually breaks. If 60 could break, guys, this would be interesting. If it broke and Uber went down to, let's say, $55, right around these moving averages on this 4-hour chart, I think that could be an even better opportunity for a move back up to 60 plus. That way you could position yourself at a lower price. I mean, who doesn't like that, right? Who doesn't like buying at a lower price? So watch out for Uber. $55 is ideal, but maybe 60 if it holds and pops. We'll see. Penn is another one, PENN, which is by no means oversold. Remember, earlier we made an oversold video. This is probably more overbought. I mean, it's more overbought for sure. Although the RSI right now is at a pretty decent spot, 43 here on the 4-hour chart. And it is at a decent spot because the stock, I mean, it was even more overbought before. It went to 134, and now it's down about $20 from that peak. So it's down, although it is in the macro perspective here on the 4-hour. I mean, it's still pretty frothy. I mean, the stock's gone from 26 to now 113, which again is pretty crazy. And at this point, it's still down about 15% from its peak. It's right around this 50 SMA on the 4-hour chart, which I think if this could hold this general 110, 115 level on Penn, maybe we can get a rebound play back up to the 120s, 130s, maybe even 140 plus if it does want to continue this meteoric rise that it's been on. And an even better scenario, honestly, now that I'm looking at it, is if this 50 SMA fails to hold, honestly, we're going to go right down to 98, $100, right around the 180 SMA, which I believe we talked about in recent videos. So the fact that it went down 3% today, it's getting obviously more and more cheap. And I think if this 50 SMA takes out, we might see another red day, maybe another 2 red days here on Penn, especially if the markets in general pull down. That's what you guys have to understand. When the markets as a whole pull down, the S&P, NASDAQ, Dow, you have to realize a lot of stocks are going to pull down a lot more than what the markets go down. And usually those stocks that go down more than what the markets in general go down, those are the more speculative, the more high growth stocks, like Penn, right? Like Penn, like, all these smaller stocks out there. Let's name a few. Penn, NEO, even Tesla, companies like AMD, companies like Square. These stocks, when the markets S&P go down 5%, let's say that were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised if Penn was down 15%, 20%. That is what you have to understand, and that is a risk here as the market is at all-time highs. And Penn, like I said, is pretty frothy, but either way, we just have to be careful, and we could make money, but we just have to be very nimble and have that cash, have that dry powder. I didn't mention earlier, but I'm in about 5-6 positions, which I did talk about, but I didn't mention I'm in cash still, guys. Cash is a position. I'm not all in the markets. I have about 30-40% cash with what I have, and the fact that I sold AMD today, that brought me in even more cash, but then again, I bought Rocket, and then I bought Tesla today, so all that cash pretty much went to use. But overall, I'm still at 30-40% cash. That's a good spot to be in right now, in my opinion. And maybe that's too conservative. Maybe you want 20% cash, 10%, 15%. The truth is, there's no magic number. It all depends on you and your risk tolerance and what makes you sleep better at night. Some people sleep nice at night knowing they have 50% in cash. And me personally, if I was all in the market, I would be a bit scared to sleep at night. I mean, I might be getting up every hour like, oh my God, guys, I'm all in the market. But 50%, hey, or 30%, that's better for me. So the next stock, enough with all this cash talk. Let's talk about the next stock. It's LMND, ticker symbol LMND. This one hit $190 recently, about a month ago. Now it hit a low about 2 days ago at $140. It dropped over 20%, so LMND was in a bear market. And overall, I'm liking the price action here because, again, we held 140 a couple days ago, and that was right around the 180 SMA. So we held that 180 SMA, which has been support in these past couple of months, and we rallied off of it. And at this point in time, we went down 0.5% today, and we're right by the resistance of this channel at about 160, 165, to which I'm not looking to buy here at 160, 165. I'm actually looking to buy if it breaks that point. I mean, if we break this downwards channel, this could go bananas. I think LMND could go back 180, 175, maybe even higher than that. And that could be a nice momentum play considering this is a high growth company. It's a momentum play, no doubt about it. And there could be some more upside. And plus, they have earnings coming up here in about 3 weeks, which could move the stock even more. So we'll see. Overall, LMND is a decent one here to watch, in my opinion. And we have Skillz, SKLZ. I believe we talked about this one in yesterday's video. This went down again today, down 4%. And the crazy thing, we covered this in the morning briefing update video today as well. It was actually up to $44 and it went down to 38. So this one, talk about volatility, it went down 13% intraday and it closed again down about 4%. So what this is telling me is the sell-off is probably not over. We actually hit a lower low. It seems like we're down in the pre-market or after-market session. And I think, if we take out $39 tomorrow, $38.50, watch for a drop to about, I'd say, $35. And that is where I'd probably start picking up shares on Skillz right around this 50 SMA 4-hour chart if that 38 level breaks. So watch out for this. I wouldn't buy it yet. I feel like buying it now. And by the way, guys, you can do whatever you want. But for me, I'm probably not buying yet because I feel like I'm jumping the gun a bit. But the second it breaks into the mid-30s, that's when I'm going to buy. So you got to be patient. I'm being patient. And that's the whole thing with trading. A lot of the time, you have to be patient. You have to, just throw your emotions out the window, guys. Just do that. If you throw your emotions out the window, and I know it's hard, but if you can master them, that's a better word, master your emotions and not let them dictate your decisions, then you're going to be a better trader. That's just the honest truth. And not just a trader, but an investor, long-term investor, medium-term investor. Just understand you must get your emotions under control. And FUBO is another one. I believe this was one of those highly shorted stocks. I don't think a lot of the short interest percentages, guys, for a lot of these stocks, they dropped a ton, at least according to a couple websites that I'm looking at. And I forget what FUBO's is, but it's probably like 20%, 30, 40% short interest, similar to what we saw with rocket companies. And this one had a ridiculous short squeeze back in December, a couple days in a row. I mean, this thing doubled and some, and then it dropped. It lost all of that gain and some. It went down to $23, so it lost about 65%. And since then, it rallied up even more. It hit about $56, pulled down, held 40, popped back up to 50. Now we're holding about $45. So at this point, I don't think FUBO is out of the woods. I mean, yeah, we're on a nice uptrend, but take a look. I mean, on this 5-day, 5-minute, it still is downtrending. We hit a lower high today, pre-market in the morning as well, and then we dumped and we hit a lower low at 43. So the downtrend is 100% still intact here on the 5-day, 5-minute. So be careful. And what that leads me to think is, hey, FUBO could be going down. I'm thinking $40, maybe $42, right around this 180 SMA 4-hour chart. I think that could be a better, more, what's the word here, guys? A better for risk reward. I think that would be better, right? A buy at about $40, $41. That's what I'm personally looking at, right around this 180 SMA 4-hour chart on FUBO. And Beyond Meat, BYND, we got a nice pop today, went up 3%. And I've been talking about this one, guys, at 165, 160 bucks, 170. That is a big level of support on Beyond Meat. It was actually resistance stemming back from the month of November, back in June as well. So the fact that we held that as support, we're ripping up today. We went up 3%. You can see earlier in the day we were up to 175, so we were probably up over 5% at that point. That's a good sign that momentum is turning to the upside, and we could see 180s, 185, 190, 200 plus here on Beyond Meat. I think that is where it is going, and yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts. And if you guys want a more in-depth breakdown of Beyond Meat, I made an individual stock analysis video about 2 weeks ago. Just go in the search bar on YouTube, type in STOCKS Beyond Meat. It should pop up, and you can see that little 20-minute video on Beyond Meat if you are interested. And the last one, which admittedly, I don't track this company. I'll be straight up with you. I don't track this company, but I got at least 5 to 10 comments on the YouTube channel today about this stock saying, Stas, cover this, please. And it was Senseonics. I can't even say the company. That's just how you know I don't track it. But this is one that's been clearly a high flyer. It was a penny stock, so I mean, that's why I didn't know about it, because I don't really track penny stocks, and it's still arguably a penny stock depending on your definition of it at $3. I mean, some people still consider stocks like this a penny stock, and it's gone from 35 cents at the low point, hit 4.30. That is ridiculous. That's a 10x, and a lot of people are asking me about it. Is it a buy right here? Honestly, guys, just looking at this chart, I don't even have to know about the company. I know this is overbought. I mean, I would not force anything here at $4. No way. But if we got down to $3, now we're talking. Right around this 50 SMA, now we're talking. I mean, that could be a nice drop of about 25%. Hey, that could be a dip buy if you are looking to play something like this that's very volatile. I don't know much about it, so I can't talk about the share statistics. I'm assuming there's a decently high short float on this, or a short interest rather. You know, the stock's seen a bunch of short squeezes, it seems like, recently. So, you know, watch out for it. I mean, you could play it if you're into penny stocks. Me, again, I'm not. And I would probably wait for a pullback. I think we're going to get one. I mean, look, every time we've hit one of those rocket ship days, it's died off. It's died off for a couple of days. I mean, it did it once here. It went from 50 cents to a $1.30. Then it cooled off to 75. It went from 90 cents here to $2. Then it went down to 150. It went from what, 130 to 380, back down to 215. So you guys have to realize this stock is it sees a lot of gains, but then it pulls down drastically. And recently it went up from 275 to 430. Like you can see, that's a 35% move to the upside. And I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, it dropped 30% and went from 430 maybe back down to $3, which could be a 30% drop. So be careful with this one. I would not force it here. That's just my opinion. And that's it. We're going to wrap up the video here. Those are 7 stocks. And again, if you want to get 3 more stocks to take a look at, go check out my video from earlier. I'll link it down below in the description box. And if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Let's try to get 400 likes. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure to get into the Strive Smart Discord chat, the Facebook group. Get 2 stocks from WeBull valued up to $1,600 by simply opening up an account. Deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks. And the same thing with M1 Finance. Open up an account with them, deposit any amount of money, and you get $30 free. And all of those are free, and again, link down below. And if you guys want to support me, get buy and sell alerts, morning update videos, you guys want exclusive content and call outs, check out the Patreon. That's also linked right down below. So I'll catch you all in the next video, which is that 3 stocks video. Check it out up here. Click that. I'll catch you all there. Thanks for watching. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.